What if you could secure a property that not only appreciates in value over time, but puts more money in your pocket each week? A strategy that both beginners and seasoned pros are taking advantage of, and one that bypasses future regulation changes in regards to tenancy agreements. I'm going to explore how you can get involved in the holiday let strategy and how that could reshape your portfolio moving forwards. I'm going to dive into the numbers, the risks, and how to obtain one. Now, if you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Jonathan. I started SPV Mortgages around 6 years ago. We're a specialist finance brokerage, and my channel is all about the experiences I have with hundreds of investors, sharing those experiences with you. Holiday let mortgages are specifically designed for investors looking to let their properties on a short-term basis. Now, these mortgages differ completely from residential, your standard buy-to-lets, in a few key ways, simply because the properties are going to be let irregularly and perhaps on a seasonal basis. Now, the property must be let on a short-term basis to guests staying from a day to a few days, perhaps to a few weeks. They've got to be advertised on platforms like Airbnb and Booking.com and sitesandcottages.com as well. If you purchase via an SPV limited company, then all of the expenses are tax deductible, like council tax, electricity, water, gas, expenses from the mortgage such as interest and product fees, as well as cleaning bills. Location is key to whether an application is going to be successful or not. Holiday let lenders are looking specifically to lend on properties in key areas of the country that have a high holiday let rental demand. Now, one way to check this before moving forwards and actually seeing the property is to speak to organizations like sites or cottages.com. Ask for a rental assessment letter. Based on their data sets, the holiday let rental assessment letter, based on the property that you found, can actually be quite accurate. And based on those numbers, you'll then be able to see how much profit the property will make and whether it is a viable holiday let proposition. Rental stress testing. So unlike a traditional buy-to-let mortgage where the rental assessment is based upon the surveyor's comments on the property being let for a long period of time, in the holiday let space, lenders are quite comfortable to lend off a rental assessment letter, meaning that you can borrow significantly more money using the holiday let route than you can on a traditional buy-to-let mortgage. Ownership and usage. Well, when it comes to owning the property, you can purchase in your personal name or you can purchase via an SPV limited company. In regards to the usage of the property, some lenders will not allow you to stay in the property at all. So it purely needs to be let as a short-term holiday let. But some lenders, in fact, one lender that we transact about 95% of our holiday let business through, allows the directors and their family members to stay in the property up to 90 days every year. Deposit and interest rates. So typically you're looking at a 25% deposit. That's quite standard across the board, regardless of ownership structure. And interest rates are typically between 0.5 and 1% higher. It's the fee part that you need to pay particular attention to. Like I said before, the lender that receives 95% of our business offers fee structures that are around £1,000, and that has been historic for the last probably 3 or 4 years now. So when it comes to shareholders and directors, you can have a maximum of 4. The minimum age is 21. At least one of those applicants needs to be a homeowner. You don't need any buy-to-let experience. You need to have a good credit and a strong income as well. But one thing that most holiday let lenders will require is evidence that you have cash in a bank account following completion of the purchase so that you can cover any mortgage payment in any downturn. So it's crucial to assess the demand of the holiday let space in the area that you're looking to invest in. If the area has a low demand for holiday letting, chances are the lenders are simply not going to lend. But you want to understand what the seasonal adjustments are. What are the rents in low season versus medium versus high? And then you would want to take an average of that just to maintain cash flow if you were to invest in that specific area. That will ensure that the mortgage payments can always be met. Holiday lets require a lot more management up front, of course, because you're having this really high turnover of people coming in and out of the property. So a very sensible idea, and one that most clients opt for, is to have the property fully managed. Now, what you would need to do when running the numbers is take off 20% from the gross rents and then work on that figure as your gross margin. Now, if you're thinking about buying a holiday home somewhere in the UK, but you want that holiday home to be self-financing and potentially make a profit, then the idea would be to apply to a lender that will allow you to do that based on their terms and conditions. So one of the lenders that we use on a regular basis allows up to 90 days for any director or shareholder or their immediate family to stay in the property. Now, most holiday let properties that I come across for clients are in areas that have a very high holiday let rental demand. But the key difference between their properties and other properties in the area is the furnishings. So these properties are furnished to a high standard. They look very attractive. And looking back over our internal data, it would appear that those properties are generating between 100 and 200% more rental income than they would if they were let on a long-term AST basis. Now, as the buy-to-let market is continuously shifting, investors are looking to maximize yield. Now, if you're interested in a different asset class that generates long-term yield and short-term yield, watch this.